So find a comfortable seat. Thank you for being here. It's really good to see you. Okay. Okay, if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close the eyes. And I know that I personally have to do a little extra energetic step when I'm doing a practice, not in a yoga studio or some other like sacred space that's designed just for this kind of. So if you need to do something like that, like whatever that is for you, maybe it's, I don't even know, drawing an imaginary border around yourself, or taking an extra breath. And then let's take 3 clearing breaths together. So take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. 2 more like that. Please inhale through the nose. All the way into the pelvic bowl. And then exhale out the mouth. Soften the shoulders. 1 more inhale. And exhale. And then just allow your breath to move as it wants to. Get really curious about all the beautiful nuances of yourself. Let's take the palms of the hands together and rub them. And then we'll bring the hands to heart center if that's comfortable for you, right? So prayer pose. So thumbs at the sternum. Sternum rises to meet the thumb. So you're opening up the chest ever so slightly. Feel the length of your throat. And then if you'd like to join, we'll tune in by chanting Om. Please take a deep breath into chant. Om. And then if the eyes are closed, please open them. Okay. So this last week, my boyfriend got in a motorcycle accident and he broke 2 vertebrae. And I think most of you know, he's okay, he's right over here. Anyway, but it's like a rehab, right? So what is it, the next 6 weeks you're not to lift anything heavier than a shoe? At least the next 6 weeks, you can't lift anything heavier than a shoe. It's, you guys, I think all of you are anatomy nerds. So it's like thoracic spine, so like mid back. So like no rounding, no twisting, right? So there's like a lot of immobilizing and rehab to this. And I think all of you know, like I have a spinal injury too. So like I'm very aware of this whole experience in my own experience. Which basically means that he's leaning on a lot of support. And the other day, he said something to the effect of like, you know, I've always wanted to go on an all-inclusive resort vacation where people bring me food and they take me places and I don't have to do anything. Like, and I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. And I looked at him and I'm like a cynical New Englander. I'm like, are you freaking serious? And he was not like joking. He was like very sincere. And it reminded me of the fact that we always have a choice of how we relate to the circumstances that show up for us, right? I remember, so I broke my back like 10 years ago and I like fought the reality of it. Like I like really didn't want it to be true because I knew it was going to change my life. And I attached to a lot of drama and story around it. And it created a lot of suffering for me. And so it's like a really sweet circle to watch my boyfriend go through this experience where he's not sugarcoating it. Like, it's a broken spine. It's going to take time to heal. But the way that he's choosing to relate to it in a way that has some levity and reverence and this idea of surrender to it is really lovely and such a nice reminder that we really do have a choice. Like, we really do when stuff comes up on how we relate to it and how powerful that is. And to me, that's a huge teaching of yoga, right? And I think last week, if you were in class, like, I'm obsessed right now with Ishvari Pranayama, right? So this like surrendering to that which is greater than us, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like we're martyred, you know, like you can find joy even in these challenges. And it makes me think about Ganesh a lot, right? So I think most of you know, like, Ganesh is the remover of obstacles, right? But it's that idea of like, the challenges aren't the obstacles. It's our relationship to the challenges that can become the obstacles when we get in our own way. And the idea of Ganesh is to remind us that that is all the path. And we have a choice to compassionately look at ourselves and how we create barriers as we move along. I hope that makes sense. Right? So just a gentle reminder, right? And I love it in the body because we all have our stuff. We all have places where certain movements are more challenging for us, or we're feeling a little stagnant here, or we have some pain in the knees, or whatever's going on, right? And as those things come up, right, we're taught in a lot of ways to have like a drama around it, like, oh my gosh, my knee's injured or whatever, right? So can you compassionately look at that narrative that maybe has been created over conditioning and time around stuff that's going on in the body, and just give yourself permission to relate to it differently, right? And it's a very fine line, right? So we're not like judging ourselves for thinking the wrong way, right? It really is like expanding our awareness so that we can look at things from all kinds of different angles and then kind of sit into the one that's going to serve us with the most ease as we move forward. Okay? That makes sense? Yeah. That being said, I'm really tired today. So the class is going to be a little bit slower moving. Maybe we'll see what happens when we get going. Yeah, I'm okay. And you know, like one of the beauties of like home practice particularly is that like you can just do whatever the hell you want over there. You're not going to distract anybody, which is great. But we'll do a little bit of, I'm really into some Kriya work, so we're going to continue to do some breathing exercises with repetitive movement. We'll really get into the shoulders, so I'm going to like call out my friend Anne. She's a fantastic teacher on Wednesday mornings if you guys ever want to take that class in the studio. But her teacher is Laura Heyman. She'll be very similar. But there's a lot of like scapular work that I'm getting like super obsessed with. So we're going to do a lot of stuff where we get more acquainted with the scapula, the shoulder blades, and getting mobility in that and how that creates freedom in the rest of the body. So that's kind of my game plan, but we'll see what happens. Sound good? Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're going to stay seated for a little bit longer. So if you need to adjust in any way, please go ahead and do so. So the first breathing exercise we're going to do is got like different names, right? So from the lineage of Sattva Yoga, this is called Agyasara, right? So it's alternate nostril breathing, but you incorporate with Kapalabhati with breath of fire, okay? So if your belly is not very happy today, or you're on your moon cycle and you don't want the intensity of the pressure of the abdominal muscles pressing into the belly, you can forego that part and then just do alternate nostril breathing. If you'd like to join me, right, essentially you just do a breath of fire out each nostril. So you like forcefully exhale out the left nostril and then let the inhale ricochet in, exhale out the right, back and forth, back and forth. The mudra that I've been using lately for this one is you curl your fingers down, so the pointer finger and the middle finger are curled into the palm. The thumb on the right hand comes onto the right nostril, and the ring finger comes onto the left nostril. If you're wanting to drop in a little bit more spiritually, you might take your middle finger and press it onto your third eye, that spot above in between the brows. That's kind of a nice option too. So just decide which one's going to support you here, okay? Breathe in and out of both nostrils. Okay. And we'll start with the left side. So you're going to close the right nostril and begin Kapalabhati. You're going to go back and forth. So left, right. So As you're doing this, the face stays relaxed, the chest stays open. So you're not creating tension, you're building heat. There's a big difference. Nice, you guys. Exhale, 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 exhale. Right, so if this is becoming a little confusing, the inhale happens naturally. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hand down to the lap. Inhale deeply through both nasal passages. Lift the pelvic floor. Keep the shoulders soft, but keep lifting up, 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 like you're pulling energy up the spine. The gaze with the eyes closed or open is going to go up to the third eye. Hold if you can. Keep holding. And exhale, release. Okay. Then just breathe naturally. Okay, and then just gently start to stir the rib cage over the pelvis. Okay, so pick a direction, doesn't matter which. It's more so like you stoked a fire and now you're kind of managing it, right? Okay, and then other direction. As you do this, can you get really curious about muscularly what you're feeling? Can you feel like the psoas, those deep abdominal muscles, maybe stuck in the hip joints and the low back? Good, okay. And then come to center, please. Okay. Nice tall spine, rooted through the sits bones. Inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead. Okay. Keep the low back nice and broad here. And as you exhale, just bring the hands down to the floor. So you're like kickstanding your hands here. Can recommit to anchoring down through the tailbone. And then maybe walk your hands forward, just holding gently here, hinging at the hips. Getting a little bit of an opening in the hips. Take a deep breath into the low back. And exhale. Okay, and then walk your hands back, come upright. And then we'll switch the cross of the legs if you have the legs crossed. Okay, I'm just gonna do that on the other side, right? So find your stability here, then inhale the arms up. Long spine, exhale, fold. Right, keep the low back broad here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, maybe you slide a little more forward. And then inhale with the tailbone anchored, start to walk your hands back, coming upright. Good. Alrighty. And then let's make our way to tabletop position. Okay. Okay, and then let's start to begin awareness in the hip sockets and the hip joints, right? Okay, so I feel like most of you know this stuff, but I love to talk about it, right? So you know, like when you move your joints, you're encouraging the production of synovial fluid, right? So that's like your personal lubrication in your body, right? So as we move here, this big ball and socket joint in your hips. And we're just gently coaxing some lubrication here. And at the same time, gathering information about how the hips feel. Okay, keep a little engagement in the low belly so the low back feels supported. And then just switch direction. Great, okay. Then come to center, please. Okay. And hook the toes if that feels okay for you. So you start to encourage the plantar fascia, the webbing on the bottoms of the feet to open just a little bit here. And then bring your attention to upper back, the shoulders, okay? And then without bending the elbows, start to press the chest down towards the floor so that the shoulder blades start to squeeze together a little bit. Notice if you feel anything in the chest when you do that, okay? And then start to separate the scapula, the shoulder blades, as you press the floor away from you. We're just gonna do this a few times. It's like your shoulder blades are these sponges and you're scrubbing the back ribs with your scapulas, okay? Synchronizing breath with movement as you do this. Right, and notice, like in my body, the more I do this, the tops of my shoulders and the sides of my neck want to try to compensate. So can you continue to soften through the tops of the shoulders, the neck, or anywhere else you might feel the body trying to support this movement, so that you're really encouraging the muscles around the shoulder blades to wake up. And you're encouraging that connection of your mind to your body with all of these muscles you have. A couple more movements. Okay, and then come to center here, please. Keep the toes hooked if you can, and shift back into a child's pose. Okay, so hips over the heels, and walk the arms long. That feels safe in the body, to the point where you have a little bit of an extension in the upper back. Okay, just like a little bit, but more so you've got this traction going on where there's an opening happening in the side body and the low back. Okay, let the palms of your hands relax, the forearms soften. And then bring the palms of the hands together and bend your elbows so the thumbs or the wrists come to the back of the head or the neck, wherever they want to go. And then if you want to, you might walk your elbows forward a little bit more to get some more opening in the shoulders and the upper back. And then use your breath to deepen, right? So deep breath in. Exhale, let the weight of your skull sink into the floor. Do that 2 more times, please. Deep breath in. And out. And 1 more deep breath in. And out. Nice. Then keeping the shape of your body, just interlace your fingers, please. And then create little circles with your fists in one direction, just getting some movement in the wrists. And then a few little circles in the other direction with your fists. Good, okay. And then release that, straighten the arms, come back up to tabletop position, please. Okay. Checking in that the hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are below the hips, keeping the toes curled. Now let's bring your attention to your low belly. It's like the abdominal muscles are lining the inside of your pelvic bowl, okay? And then glue the bottom angles of your shoulder blades to your back ribs so you're nice and solid through the back body. And then without changing the shape of your body, just start to hover the knees off the floor, okay? Now notice that you have to recruit the muscles around your shoulder blades to keep the collarbone broad. That's a good thing, right? Press the finger pads down into the floor. Good. And now it's like you're twisting 2 jar lids open in opposite directions with your hands. So you're wrapping the triceps back, broad through the chest. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Soften the neck, let the head be heavy. And then again, bring your attention to your feet and pedal your heels. And maybe you'll also lift your toes as you do this. Again, you're like trying to broaden and open through the plantar fascia, the webbing at the bottoms of the feet, and feel how that moves up the backs of the calves. Good. Okay, come to center, come to stillness here. Press your hands down and forward to traction the sits bones up and back more. You might bend the knees as you root the heels down. But lift up through the backs of the legs. And then again, notice what's going on with the shoulder blades. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades just a little bit towards each other and then glue the inferior angle, the pointy bottom part of your shoulder blades down towards the ribs. Let the jaw be relaxed. Deep breath in. And then exhale, shift yourself over to plank position, please. Okay. You might walk your hands a little bit to adjust so you feel more stable here. And again, keep the shoulder blades glued to the back body, okay? Keep the low belly engaged. And then without moving anything else, see if you can bend your knees to tap them on the floor. You might leave your low abdomen to wake up a bit here, and then bring them back up. So you should do that a few times, right? So exhale, lower the knees, tap. Inhale up. Good morning, abdominals. Exhale down. Inhale up. Good. Try to keep the hip points stationary here. Nice. Good. Couple more times. One more, please. Ooh, okay, last one, up and back, downward facing dog, please. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, lower down to child's pose again. Maybe you keep the toes hooked, maybe they need to rest and you soften the toes down. While you're here, right, so the arms are straight-ish, start to gently make fists and open your fingertips. So you're squeezing your hands and opening, squeezing and opening, yeah. Steady your breath. Good, you guys, okay. Come to stillness with the hands and just gently walk your hands to the left, finding a side stretch here. Go right to the edge of your depth with that opening and then take a deep breath in. And out. Then walk your hands to the right, please. And the same thing, right? So right at the edge where you start to feel that sensation of opening and then take a deep breath in. And out. Okay, come back to center. Come up through tabletop. Okay, find your alignment here. Feel those muscles around the shoulder blades again. Feel how they support the broadening of your collarbones. Hook your toes. Scoop your low belly, and just like we did before, just cover the knees off the floor. Try to keep the hips over the knees. Keep the low back broad. Breathe. Okay. And then open back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal the feet. Okay. And then shift forward to plank position again, please. Okay. This time, lower your knees down so you're in supported plank. Keep the toes hooked. And then bend your elbows to, I don't know, like you're going into chaturanga. Then press right back up. Then lift the knees off the floor plank. Good. Tap the knees down again. Strong low belly, bend the elbows. Pull the chin up towards the throat, press the arms straight, then lift the knees up to your plank. So we'll do this a few times, right? So knees down, bend the elbows a bit, press the elbows straight, knees up. So you're really working to not be rigid with this movement, but pretty of integrity with the steps, right? So finding a smooth transition. We build a little bit of heat, maybe one more. Okay, that feels like enough. Okay, when you're ready, shift back downward facing dog. And then child's pose one more time, please. Again, those gentle squeeze and release of the fingers. So we're softening the connective tissue in the forearms and the hands. Okay, take a deep breath in. And out. Then we'll transition to downward facing dog. And then slowly from your down dog, you'll tiptoe your feet to your hands and come to a fold at the front of your mat. Okay, take a deep breath in as you halfway lift, maybe slide the hands under the shin. Keep the low back broad, root down through the heels so you feel your bum and your hamstrings wake up, okay? And then exhale down. Actually, let's do the spun posterior chain wake up. Take the hands to the backs of your calves. Okay, the feet are really broad here. And then press your hands into your calves and then start to press your calves back into your hands. So hopefully what this does is you're like, oh, I can feel my butt wake up. I can feel my hamstrings wake up. So this is a part of your posterior chain, which can help support spinal safety. Okay. Keep that engagement as you release the hands back down to the floor. Okay. Think about the hinges, the hips hinging as you bend the knees and then walk your hands up your legs and come to standing. We did it. Okay. Yeah. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. Maybe shake it out. And then come to your Tadasana, your Either with your mind's eye or with your literal eyes, bring your attention to your feet, okay? So spread the toes wide, as you lift them up and then float them down to the floor. So you're nice and rooted and alive in the feet. Like tree trunks, they're pulling energy up from the earth, up through your legs. Feel that energetic lift of the muscles in the legs, all the way up through the pelvis and the torso. Feel the low ribs gently cinch in to stabilize the torso and the back. But feel the collarbones broaden and the shoulder blades slide down the back body. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay, inhale your arms out and up, please. And hinge at your hips as you exhale and fold. Okay, inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, step your right foot back and bring your right knee down. Keep the toes curled if you can. And then up you come into a lunge, right? So hinge back. So you're creating essentially these right angles with the hips and the knees. The inner thighs are pulling gently towards each other. Pubic bone is up towards the ribs. And then inhale, float the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, bring the arms out to a cactus shape, okay? So we're keeping the spine nice and stationary here as best we can, as we gently squeeze the shoulder blades to pull the arms back. They may not go very far, but you'll probably feel a nice loosen stretch in the chest. And then as you exhale, you're gonna lift your pelvic floor and press your forearm almost to touch. Keep the spine nice and stationary if you can, and then do that again, please. Inhale, open up. Full post arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, keep the spine. So we're not doing extension or flexion of the back. Good. Exhale. Lift your pelvic floor as you pull your forearms towards each other. Two more like that, please. Inhale, open up. Exhale. One more, please. Inhale, open up. Soft shoulders. Exhale. Okay. Inhale, open up. Exhale, press the palms away from you as you work towards straightening your arms. Okay, but I'm more interested in you getting that stretch in the forearms and through the palms of the hand, okay? Like you're radiating out of your heart center. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, float the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Lift the back knee, step the front foot back, find your plank position. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin to the floor. Scoop your low belly. Then inhale, find your back bend. Cobra or dog. And then exhale to your downward facing dog, please. Steady breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. End of your exhale, feet to hands, however you want to get them there. And inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale to a fold. Find the posterior chain. Roll the weight back into the heels just a bit here. Roll the glutes down the backs of the legs as you float your fingertips out and up overhead. Palms will touch this time. And then exhale, hands down to heart center, soft. Okay, so feel the chest lift to meet the thumbs. Exhale all the way down to the soles of your feet. And then bring the hands to the sides of the body, please. Good. Inhale your arms out and up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, please. Find that little lunge. The back knee comes down. Nice and steady. You can walk your hands up your thigh if that works better for you, okay? And I prefer to just get real lazy with the arms to begin with and to sink into what's going on in my hips and my legs and feet. If it's helpful sometimes to bring a hand to the low back and the low belly to make sure we're nice and engaged, sure you can do that too, okay? And as you're ready, we will float the fingertips up overhead. Use this gesture to pull the ribcage gently away from the pelvis, and then exhale into those cactus arms again, okay? Bring your attention to those shoulder blade muscles. Keep the spine as neutral as you can as you squeeze the shoulder blades to open up the chest. And then exhale, pull the forearms almost to touch as you hollow out your belly. Okay, and then inhale, open up. Exhale. Two more like that, please. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Nice. One more, please. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Okay, this time, inhale to open up. Soft through the tops of the shoulders. Exhale, press the walls apart. Stretch through the forearms, stretch through the hands, so keep the shoulders soft, the neck long. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, hands to the floor, please. Go ahead, step back to your plank position. Okay, inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here, please. Go ahead, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. End of your exhale, feet come to hands, fold at the front of your mat, please. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Strong legs. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to standing. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands down your center line. Namaste. And then hands to the side of the body. How are you relating to this experience right now? Okay, take a deep breath in. And out. Good. Inhale your arms out and up, please. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, exhale, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog, please. Inhale, float the right leg up towards the ceiling. So, you're doing this action with the right leg, but notice that the left foot, okay, can you bend the left knee a little bit to root the left heel down so you're stretching through that calf and the bottom of that left foot as you go nice and strong through the right leg. The pinky toe of that right foot is pointing down towards the floor as best you can. Equalize the weight in the hands. Exhale, shift your weight forward as you pull your knee towards your nose. What's up with the muscles around your shoulder blades? Can you glue the shoulder blades to the back body? And then inhale back up, three-legged dog. Okay, exhale, shift forward again. The right knee is going to come towards the right arm. Strong scapula. That's good. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, we're going to cross our center line. So maybe tap the left arm with the right knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Okay, exhale, come through your center line. And then work that right foot directly in between your hands and pivot the left heel back and down for warrior 2 feet. Okay, and then up we come, Virabhadrasana 2. Same thing like we did in our low lunge, just relax. Just relax the arms, good. Okay. Can you feel the posterior chain even though we're in a different shape, right? So can you feel the glutes wrapping down? The hamstrings are alive here. The feet are broad. And then the inner thighs are gently pulling towards each other. So you are very engaged, right? Can you play with that line, right? So there's a line where it becomes tension between strength and tension. Can you find that sweet spot for yourself? Breathe. Take a deep breath in, bring the hands to heart center. And then exhale, extend the arms out to the side, warrior 2. Let the gaze go where it wants to go. Okay. And then start to twist the arms in opposite directions. Moving all the way from the shoulder blades out to the fingertips. Maybe the head starts to move here too. Right? And maybe you get like super jazz hands. You're really stretching through the hands and the forearms. Strong through the legs. Little lift of the pubic bone up towards the low ribs. 2 more rotations, please. Okay, next exhale, settle into your Vira 2. So just into the hips. It's like the right hip tucks underneath you as the knee comes forward. And then inhale, float up to your exalted warrior. Okay, hang out here for a moment if you can. Bend the right elbow to cradle the skull with your hand. And then bend the left elbow so the forearm is resting on the low back. And you can use this gesture to encourage that broadening through the low back. So feeling the glutes wrap down. Breathe. And then on your next exhale, we're going to transition into our side angle. Forearm onto the thigh. Let fingertips reach straight up. So you're using the arm as a kickstand, but these side body muscles are awake, right? So you might even think about the forearm pressing down and towards you to engage those muscles. And then slowly see how it feels to pull the right hip back to work towards straightening that right knee. So now we're in like a supported triangle. Press the big toe mound of your right foot down. So that calf muscle is awake here. And then bring the left bicep along the ear if that feels safe. And then just play around how it feels to take this forearm off of the leg. And maybe right along the ear. Maybe not. I have a love-hate relationship with this shape. So just kind of checking in to see how you relate to it, okay? Pull the feet towards each other, strong through the adductors, the inner thighs. Deep breath in and out. Inhale to reverse triangle. Nice, long side body. And then exhale, windmill the arms down to the floor, pivot on the feet. Back we go, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in again, please. And this time as you exhale, wave yourself forward to your plank. We're just going to move through a flow. Continue to exhale as you lower knees, chest, chin, hug the elbows in. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Check in. How are you relating to this experience? Okay. Soles of the feet are broad. Okay, inhale the left foot up towards the ceiling. And right, like as you're doing that, you're rooting down through the right heel. So the right knee can bend a little bit so you really get that opening in the Achilles. Left toes are pointing down, hands are pressing down and forward. Strong low belly, exhale, shift your weight forward, pull your knee towards your nose. Glue the scapulas to the back ribs. So inhale back up. Exhale, maybe tap your left knee onto your left arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross your center line, find your right arm with your left knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward one more time. Know where we're going. Work that left foot in between the hands. Pivot the right heel down. Find your warrior two. And I'll switch so you can see you. Okay. Here we are. Oh. And again, relax the arms. Right? So you're really soft through the upper body. So you feel the strength of your legs. The toes are light. Feel the posterior chain. Feel the inner thighs pull towards each other. Pubic bone gently lifts up towards your cinched low ribs. Then as you're ready, start with hands at heart center, please. So I'm having you do this because I want you to think about the arms being an extension of this space, right? Sometimes this can help us not shrug the shoulders so much. Take a deep breath into the chest. Exhale, extend the arms out. Warrior two. And you feel the interplay between all the parts of the body and the breath that are holding you in this space. Okay. And then as you want to, as you're ready, you're start to twist the arms in opposite directions, right? Again, what are the shoulder blades up to and what is their relationship to this movement? Right? If you're an anatomy nerd, you know it's like, it's inseparable, right? How the mobility of the shoulder blades is deeply related to how the arms move and the safety of the spine. So, you know, it's nice to get to know them. Okay, so a couple more rounds. Okay. Next exhale, settle into your warrior two. Feel the left hip tuck underneath you as you jet the left knee forward. So it's like your thigh bone can grow longer. But at the same time, keep the right thigh lifting up. Then as you're ready, come into exalted warrior. So left fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then if you like that variation where the right elbow bends to land, so the forearm's on the low back, left elbow bends so you cradle your skull here. But notice if you started to bow in the low back, okay? Recommit to pulling the pubic bone up towards your cinched low ribs. Breathe. Okay, inhale. Exhale, transition into that supported side angle. So left forearm on the thigh. We start with the right fingertip straight up towards the ceiling. Where can you soften? Okay. One more breath here. Wake up the muscles in that left side body. So you press the forearm down and towards your center line. And then start to pull the left hip back to straighten the left knee as you come into a variation of a supported triangle. You might have to adjust where that forearm is on the leg, okay? And then bring the right bicep to the ear if that feels good for you. And then if you're wanting to build more heat, let's see what happens when we lift the left arm towards the ear as well. Keep wrapping the glutes down the backs of the legs, please. Press down through the big toe mound of the left foot like you're pressing into a gas pedal. Exhale. Inhale to reverse triangle. One more breath here. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. And step back to downward facing dog. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, move through a flow if you want to. So shift forward through your plank. Continue to exhale as you lower knees, chest, chin, or halfway down chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then find a resting shape, please. A child's pose, down dog, seated. Maybe getting a drink of water. Yeah, good. How am I relating to this experience right now? Steady breath. Okay, take two more. Clearing inhales and exhales. Okay. We'll make our way to downward facing dog once again. Not there already. And then we'll slowly tiptoe our feet to our hands and come to a fold. Okay, reminder, you can bend your knees quite a bit here. I would actually even encourage that you're prioritizing the lengthening of the spine. Because you can continue to lift the muscles of the backs of the legs up to find that lengthening, even with the knees bent. Crown of the head is just dripping down towards the floor. The shoulder girdle is soft, and you can get it to be. And then we roll the way back into the heels, so you almost come off the balls of your feet and then plug them down, okay? Find that hinge in the hips, so you're gonna feel the backs of the legs wake up, and then walk your hands up your thighs, coming up to standing. Stack the spine, crown of the head over the tailbone. Okay. Then let's go ahead and step ourselves into a wide-legged stand. Okay. And we'll come into a goddess shape, right? So you're gonna bend you're gonna rotate the toes out 45 degrees and bend the knees. Okay. Shake the hands out. Okay. And then we did this in child's pose, but we'll do this again. So you're gonna take your hands and interlace your fingers. Okay. And I like to do multiple things at the same time. If this is like bringing too much heat into the body or stress, by all means straighten your legs, okay? But if you want to like do like multiple things at the same time, keep the knees bent, okay? The bottoms of the feet are broad, and energetically the feet are pulling towards each other, so you're really stable here, okay? But I'm more interested in you doing the hand thing, okay? So you're interlace the fingers and start to stir the fists in a circle. in one direction, and then the other direction, which is always extremely hard for me to change directions. I don't know why. For the brain, okay. Come to center. If the knees are bent, go ahead and relax that for a moment. Pivot the feet to about parallel. Bring your hands right onto your hip creases, so like more like right where like the femur bone meets the pelvis, and then start to stir your pelvis. Yeah. In another direction. Okay. Come back to center. Pivot the toes out again. Okay, let's see if I can walk you through this. So we're going to bring the palms of the hands together with the elbows out. So depending on what's going on in your body, this might feel like quite the stretch, okay? So you might chicken wing them down a little bit, but if you can, you want to have the elbows in line with the shoulders and the wrists of the hands, right? So you're getting some stretch. And not like a crazy amount, but there's pressure between the palms, okay? So when you do that, can you also use your shoulder blades to do it? So like squeeze the shoulder blades together a bit here, okay? So the knees are relatively straight to begin with. Without moving your arms, you're going to start to curl your fingers down so the backs of the hands touch. And then if you want a little extra, you're going to bend your knees and come down into a deeper squat as you do this. Keep the pressure in the hands as best you can. Okay, and then straighten the legs as you roll your fingers back up. See, I can't even do it. You want to keep the elbows up. Okay, so bend. This is like a massage therapist exercise. Okay, and then straighten. And also good for kayaking. Okay, and then down. Hello. Okay, and then up. Make sure you're soft and breathing. Yeah, nice, you guys. A few more times. This can become kind of like a meditation too if you watch your hands curl. Exhale down. Let's go one more time. Okay. Next time your knees are straight, go ahead and relax the arms, shake it out. Again, bring the feet to parallel, maybe even pigeon toe if you want to kind of open up the low back a little more here. Bring the arms out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades, but again, don't like extend the back, just squeeze the shoulder blades so you maybe feel that opening in the pecs. Inhale. Nice hinge at the hips, long back, exhale, fold. Good, I love it. Yes, bring your hands to your hips if you want to. Okay, inhale, halfway lift. I'm gonna come into a twist here, okay? So you might have a block or a book, you might tent your fingertips. Bring the right hand right in front of your face. Bring your left hand to your low back. We'll go this way, maybe that helps. You can see better. Okay, left hand to low back. The feet are pulling towards each other, okay? The knees are slightly bent, but that action is coming because you're hinging at your hips and sending your weight back, okay? So the posterior chain is awake here. The spine is long, okay? Use the hand on the low back to keep the back broad as you steer the left shoulder up towards the ceiling. So this is all shoulder blade work, right? And then from here, if you want to go a little more deeper, you can start to extend the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Yes. Okay. If you're feeling bindy today, you might take this left hand, reach it back behind you and wrap it around the right thigh or hip if you can get there if you want to. Just, pose that question to yourself. What am I sacrificing to get what I want? Is it worth it? Okay, take a deep breath in, please, long spine. As you exhale, contract your abdomen muscles. Good. Inhale, release. Both hands on the floor. And we'll move through a gentle skandasana. I would suggest just keep the feet the way they are if that feels safe for the knees and sway to side. Just kind of get into the inner thighs differently. Keep the collarbones broad, please. Good. Okay, I'm gonna come back to center. Let's see how the other side feels, okay? So we're bringing the left hand in front of the face. Maybe it's a hand print, maybe it's tenting the fingertips. Right hand comes to the low back, okay? Find the strength of your adductors. Pull your feet towards each other and then start to shift your weight back. So you, again, like we did before, where like you almost come off the balls of the feet and then plug them down, okay? The knees might bend a little bit here. And then start to steer the right shoulder up towards the ceiling, keeping the low back pretty steady where it is. And from here, you might extend the right arm up. You might bind if you want. But please don't do it at the detriment of your low back or your low, your sacrum. And then one little internal organ massage here, right? So inhale. Exhale, contract your abdominal muscles. Good. Inhale, come out of the twist, please. Good. And then again, start to sway from side to side. Knees gently bend. Okay. And then we do that little fun vinyasa transition, right, where you start to walk your fingertips towards the front of your mat, pivot on your feet, and back to go to downward facing dog. Or however you want to get there. Okay, this is a vinyasa class, so I'll offer the flow again if you want to. So exhale, shift forward to your plank if you want to. Continue to exhale as you lower. Anchor all the way down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then let's lower down into child's pose, please. How are you relating to this experience right now? Steady breath. Okay. On your next inhale, come on up to tabletop position, please. Let's do a little side stretch here. So let's find your alignment and then just extend the right leg back behind you with the toes curled. Okay. And again, the scapulas are glued to the back of the ribs. Okay. Then just lift the right foot up and then cross it towards the left. So you're crossing your thighs. Just going to do a simple side stretch here and then start to peek over your left shoulder. So I like to think of it like a side crunch, right? So I'm contracting the muscles on the left side of the body to the right. You can also play around with pressing through that right heel. Keep opening the chest though, right? So those hands are rotating in opposite directions from each other. Okay, come back to a neutral spine, please. The chin is a little bit tucked, so the back of the skull is pressing up towards the ceiling. Then lift the foot up, bring it back behind you, and then the knee goes underneath the hip. And then any intuitive movement you might want. Yeah, okay. Before we do that side stretch on the other side. Okay, so find your stability, right, against shoulder blades. Little lift of the low belly. Then just straighten the left leg. Okay, then lift the foot off the floor. And then cross to the right and press the ball of the foot down on the floor. Look over the right shoulder. Right, and keep twisting the hands in opposite directions so the chest is broad. Okay, then come back to a neutral spine, please. You look straight down. Lift the left foot up, bring it back behind you. Knee comes under the hip. Sway the hips side to side. Okay, let's get off the hands. So I'm going to suggest that we come into hero's shape, but I know that's not always ideal for everybody, right? So if it works for you to be sitting on your heels, please do so. If you are really into the intensity of it, you can do this next sequence with the toes curled and toes pose, parts of it. Okay. I'm going to be a little lazy with cueing because I know you all and I know you take care of your bodies. So if you need props, please get them. Okay. My biggest thing that I'll be pushy about is that you feel supported to really focus on what we're doing with the upper part of the body. Okay. Okay. Let the arms hang down the sides of the body. Okay. Relax as best you can here and then slowly start to lower the chin down towards the chest. Steady breath. You're just letting gravity do the work here. Okay. Like your head is a bowling ball. We'll slowly roll it to the left, because the left ear is towards the left shoulder. So like let the jaw be slack as best you can. And we're just going to slowly start to drag this right hand out to the side. And we're reaching the fingertips towards the floor. Again, find that edge, right, where you're opening here. But you stay relaxed. Okay, we're going to start to rotate the palm up, but I want you to think about what's going on with that right shoulder blade as you do it. Okay, so start to twist the right palm up towards the ceiling and feel the right shoulder blade connect to the backs of the ribs. Keep the palm as broad as you can here and keep that little gentle tension, right? So you're reaching the fingertips towards the floor. Breathe. Gently start to tilt your chin towards your left armpit. Breathe. Okay. Keeping the scapula connected to the back of the ribs, start to rotate that right palm back. So you rotate, so the back of the hand is facing forward. And then slowly start to bend the right elbow, bringing the back of the arm and the forearm to the low back like you did in Warrior Two. Okay. This one's kind of a neat shape, right? So play around with the pressure of that forearm on the low back. So what happens if you start to press the forearm into the low back and then down a little bit, right? So sometimes that can help to really open up the pectoralis minor, the little guy, the little pec. That is actually a pretty big culprit for a lot of people in with like tension or pinched nerves in the brachial plexus. Take a deep breath in. And out, and slowly let the arm drift down to the side of the body and then roll the chin down towards the chest. Okay, you're gonna start this movement from the tailbone. I want you to think about the tailbone anchoring down towards the floor as the spine stacks, and then naturally the crown of the head will start to rise up towards the ceiling. Oh. And then just take a moment and breathe. And then right back down on your next exhale, so start to lower the chin down, chest. And then with a nice heavy skull, roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keep the jaw relaxed. You know, reminder that you can skip any of these steps if they don't feel appropriate in your body, okay? If you want to, you start to reach the left hand out towards the floor. So you're creating kind of a diagonal line here. And then start to rotate the palm up towards the ceiling, but feel how that action is generated from the left shoulder blade. Breathe. And then if you want to, see how it feels to start to bring the chin down towards the right armpit. And then start to rotate the left palm back. Oh, right? And then you bend the left elbow, bringing the forearm to the low back, right? And then I'm cueing this like you're pressing the left forearm into the low back, but again, what is that shoulder blade up to? As you press the forearm forward and then down just a smidge. And that's like the cherry on top, right? So if you don't like it, don't do it. Steady breath. And then slowly bring the arm out to the side, relax it. Roll the chin down towards the center of your chest again. And then again, plug the tailbone down to stack the spine until the crown of the head rises up towards the ceiling. Okay, and then shake it out. Nice, guys. Okay. And then we're gonna make our way onto our back. As always, right, if there's something else you want to do before you get there, do it. Okay. We'll meet you on our backs. Yeah. right? And so like my go-to when I get on my back is to have my knees bent with my feet on the floor and windshield bring the knees from side to side. I see that some of you are hugging your legs to your chest. Do that if that feels better. But just kind of thinking about the mobility you're creating in your hip sockets and softening through the hip flexors, the fronts of the hips. As you let the low back broaden into the floor. Okay. Let's take a full body stretch. Okay, so straighten the legs on the floor if that feels appropriate in your body. Reach the arms along the ears. Okay. Keep your neutral spine as best you can as you reach through the fingertips and the soles of the feet. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend your left knee and hug it into the body. Okay, but continue to press the sole of the right foot away from you. Play around with pulling the left knee towards the left armpit. That might assist in opening through the low hip, that front of the right hip a little more. Take the right hand onto the top of the right thigh. And then start to press the sole of the left foot up towards the ceiling. Now I'm grabbing the back of my thigh, the back of my knee here. Some of us might grab the outer edge of the left foot. Please don't crank on your leg to try to get into this shape. It's half happy baby. It's kind of a lot of things going on with the shape, so you decide what you want to do with it. You want to be opening up the right hip more. You want to be stretching through the hamstring more. Okay. One more breath here. Then go ahead and release that. Bring the right hand onto the left knee and we'll come into a twist from this place. Okay, so start to pull the left knee towards the right. This is a deep twist. So please rotate the sacrum up. And if you need to, tuck the right knee underneath the left. The left shoulder blade does not need to be connected to the floor unless that feels safe for you. Okay. Nice, you guys. 2 deep breaths here, please. Okay. And as you're ready, roll yourself out of the twist. And come back to that full body stretch, right? So legs are straight, lean back. Arms come over the head. Big inhale as you open the front of the body. And as you exhale, bend the right knee and squeeze it into the body at the depth that feels safe for you. Okay. If knees are tender, you might keep the toes of the right foot flexed. That might help protect the knee. Okay. Then the left hand comes to the top of the left thigh. Start to pull the right knee towards the right armpit a bit here. See how that feels. And then see what happens. You start to press the sole of the right foot up towards the seat. Okay. And then you might adjust what you're holding on to here. Nice, you guys. Steady breath. Okay, next exhale, release whatever you're holding on to there. And transition to the left hand on the right knee and twisting towards the left. Okay. So I'm just cueing it this way because it's the ease of the sequence, but please adjust accordingly. So if you need to tuck the left knee underneath the right or enter your twist a different way, please honor your body. Let there be a sense of heaviness to your bones. Okay, on your next inhale, come out of your twist, please. And then anything else you need before Shavasana? Any other movement? Stretch. Right, and so this is your integration shape, right? So if you want to sit in meditation for that, you can. If you want to lay down, you can. Beautiful. Om Ganga Pati Namo. 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 Okay, bring your attention back into your body, please. Start to deepen your breath. And moving with so much tenderness for yourself. Start to transition back to a seated shape. We'll finish up that practice with a pranayama. We did this last week. This is breath of light. So this is a 7-part inhale through the mouth, where you're pulling prana up the spine, holding it at the crown of the head of the third eye. And then you exhale gently out the nose, okay? If you want to add a visualization to this, you might think of like golden light being lifted up the spine. This is sometimes called your Shushunya Nadi, energy channel in the center. Nice tall spine, relaxed hands. Just gonna sip air through the mouth to the count of 7. So exhale completely, please. And start to sip air through the mouth to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold gently. Exhale out the nose. And again, inhale through the mouth into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. Lift the pelvic floor maybe. Exhale gently out the nose. And again, inhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. Soft shoulders, relaxed jaw. Exhale through the nose. And again, inhale through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. Lift. Exhale through the nose. One more time. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold. Exhale through the nose. Breathing naturally. Bringing hands to heart center if that's comfortable for you. And we'll take a clearing breath, and if you'd like to join, we'll close by chanting Om. So deep breath in through the nose, out the mouth, and inhale to chant. Om. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. May you remember your true nature, which is love, trust, and reasonless joy. And may you remember that you are strong and wise. Thank you for being you and for sharing it. Namaste.